All right, gentlemen, straight to our next conversation. Desperate time, they say, calls for desperate measures. The continued observance of the Monday sit-at-home in parts of the southeast has triggered a firm response from the Anambra State government. In a new development, soldiers and other security operatives have been deployed to enforce Governor Soludo's decision to shut the Onitsha Main Market after traders repeatedly stayed away from business activities on Monday, despite government assurances. According to the State Commissioner for Information Law, Mefo, the sit-at-home practice is costing the state an estimated 8 billion naira and the entire southeast 19.6 billion naira every Monday, putting significant pressure on revenue and livelihoods. Now, this matter has generated a lot of opinions, reactions here and there. But gentlemen, first of all, was the governor right or wrong, for shutting down the market, as a punitive measure for the traders repeatedly, failing to open their shops? Right or wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong. Why do you say so?
Now, I'm going to adopt the article written by one of us who is studying in the U.S. for his PhD, a Nigerian.
Okay.
Who is studying in the U.S. for his PhD. But the first thing to know is, as a businessman, I won't like to close my shop for even one day. For even 1 hour, not to talk of a whole day. So something is wrong somewhere. It means the government owes me. But that also, you should not forget, is because the people are not going out. If they were going out, that attack would have continued.
Even with the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu,
yes,
I think
even with it. Even with the man in Finland who has been jailed, we are still having it. Because when you start a movement like that, you lose control at some point. Nnamdi Kanu has lost control. The man in Finland has lost control. So there are people who now use it as their own meal tickets to strike.
But legally speaking, you think the governor does not have a right to shut down the market?
It doesn't.
It doesn't have a
let me read this from Ebuka Uko, who, like I said, is studying in the US for his PhD. Now, before a government asks people to defy the Monday sit-at-home and come out, just a bit of it. That's economic activity. It must secure the environment in which that activity takes place. Orders without assurance do not build confidence. They deepen fear. People cannot just go out not knowing that I'm going to come back. It is not. It doesn't sound logical.
Okay.
No matter how long you say that place will stay shut, people will be sure to stay at home. Until when we are sure that there is law and order in this system, you cannot enforce such an order.
I mean, Governor Soludo's decision, to shut down the Onitsha markets, now with soldiers now deployed, do you agree with the governor?
Well, I think, let's look at it from this perspective. Any responsible government in any part of the world owed it a duty to make sure that the laws of the land are respected at any point in time, no matter whose us is God. The moment you begin to surrender your decision or your ability to ensure security of the people of the state, which means you have surrendered the authority and sovereignty of the state to the people who are non-state actors. For instance now, if people in Lagos State should say they're not going to the market, you know the implications for others. I think to that extent, even on the face of law, it also means that by jailing Kanu, it means that it is a nullity. If the governor should accede that non-state actors should determine what happened in a state in which he swore to protect the constitution of that state. No matter how you look at it, the governor has a right to do everything as he remains the chief security officer of that state. Whether it is far-reaching or not is another matter entirely, but he owes the duty to protect the life and to ensure that the business of governance continue in that state. But when you allow a set of people that are not recognized by the state to begin to determine how the state is run, I think it is giving into anarchy. And before you know it, it will be an established norm in that state that for decades, people will not go to market on Monday, and there will be no commercial activity on Monday. I think it is contradictory to the rule of law. It's also contradictory to the fact that somebody has to ensure security of that state.
But some of the traders said fear, not defiance, as the reason for staying away from the market. But has the government done enough to assure the traders that, hey, your safety is guaranteed? Let me start with you.
Exactly what the people are expecting. Because, like I've said, these people are not civil servants. They are not bound by the rules of government that you must show up in your office at 8 a.m. Even if there is no problem and I decide to stay in my house, the governor has no right to come and tell me to come out. I don't work for him.
They are private citizens. They are private
citizens who are using government facilities and paying the government for so using it. So you don't have a right to tell me when to come out, especially when I don't feel safe. I'm not a civil servant. And the other thing this man added is that if people are already losing 8 billion, which, again, we shouldn't forget, the House of Assembly in Anambra State said is 19.6 billion when other markets are brought in. So the state is losing about 19.6 billion on Mondays when nothing is done. So if they're already losing 8 billion out of fear, then you should know that what they are doing is not disobeying you. It is the fact that they are first securing themselves so that they can continue to make that 8 billion that you say they are losing. Once you die, the government can come and say, okay, because you died from disobeying the laws of non-state actors, we'll continue to pay your family what you make every day. It's logical to think that way. A man does not die, and the government takes over his responsibilities at home. That's not the way it works. Government should ensure that people feel secured enough to come out, because nobody likes to lose money. Will I see money running ahead of me and I won't pursue it? I will, certainly, but I'm not a civil servant who is bound by your rules. And don't forget, the secretariat is well secured. You have different layers of security there. The soldiers are there, NSCDC, police, neighborhood watch, all of them are there for the secretariat. Who is that kind of protection available on the roads leading to those markets and in the markets
as well? Now, looking at what Dotun said, what kind of assurances, should the government offer to guarantee the traders, their safety once the market now fully opens? Let's say next week, Monday. Because
I think, you see, this thing is like a cancer that has developed over the years. And when you have a cancerous situation, what we have in Ghana is a cancerous situation that has developed and evolved not only in the mind of the people, it has evolved in the society. People have surrendered themselves to laws that are not legal in the state. So when they have surrendered themselves, they have also surrendered their psyche to obeying laws that are not proper. So if they have done that, it will now take you a very long time for you to begin to accept that thing. If it is going to take a very long time, meanwhile, a government is in action, which means for the next 20 years, the issue of IPOP will continue to determine whether people have a normal life in Anambra State. If we agree,
the Southeast in general.
If we agree on that, it means that state is not qualified to be called a state. If it is not qualified to become a state, then that area maybe it's going to be excised from the normal state, because you are using the same constitution to govern the country, which means you are also telling people in Ogun State, you are telling people in Oyo State, you are telling people in Kano State to adopt that same approach. And when they adopt that same approach, the system breaks down. The country breaks down.
Okay,
and that is
but the commissioner said something. He said that the state loses 8 billion naira every Monday, shutting the market. But shutting the market as a punitive measure, you don't see it as counterproductive.
What I'm saying is that even shorting the market, losing that money alone
Yes.
is contributing to the health of the state. The economic health of the
Exactly.
state is the health of the people. So when you shut down the economic health of the state, how do people survive?
No,
When
because
do not allow them
if
to
you
do
say, if the
business.
commissioner is saying
They do
that,
not allow
okay,
them to
8
do
billion
business.
naira, the state loses 8 billion naira on Mondays. Now they've now shot it for 7
Exactly.
days, 8 by 7.
No,
Eh,
let's
probably
even
it's
put it
not
at-
counterproductive,
let's even put it
yeah.
at 8 by 5.
Okay, 8 by 5,
remaining-
yes. Saturday, Sunday.
Governance is not a teacup. It's not a dinner party. A lot of things be happening underneath that you and I cannot know with people who are in government. Probably because within the next 1 week, a lot of things will have been put in place to
Exactly.
reduce that thing. That may inform the decision of the governor to do that because you cannot shut the market forever.
It's
just for 7
even extending the logic, like he said,
It
that
cannot
instead of
extend
only
the
1
market.
day, you have now shot it for 5 more days.
So definitely something will happen in that state. But I agree, no matter what happens, we should not surrender the state to non-state actors.
And you think the way the governor has gone is the right way?
Where he is in the best position
In the best position.
because he's in government.
But in your opinion, is the right way? He has approached it the right way.
For now, to allow temper to simmer down, to allow this essence of bringing IPOB under governance to simmer down, I think what he has done is good. As a sitting governor, chief executive, chief security officer of that state.
What do you think?
I don't agree with him. I think the governor should go back and have a rethink. If you are losing only 8 billion per week,
Okay.
it is better for you than shutting the market for 5 more days, meaning that you have lost another 40 billion. And let's extend it. If it is 19.6 billion, like the House of Assembly said, it means you have lost 19.6 billion times 5 again, apart from the Monday. So it's logical. And if you don't want to have dead bodies on your hands, people being killed on the streets, then it's better for you to ensure that the security of lives and properties are first
Which
guaranteed.
is Section 14 of the
Because
1999 Constitution.
we've had a situation at some point.
But gentlemen, I apologize for butting in. We just have 2 more minutes before we go on this break. The markets will be reopened on Monday.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think this punitive measure by the governor has sent a strong message to the traders that this issue of that will permanently end the Monday sit at home in this state? Do you think? Let me start with you. Do you think it has sent a strong message?
That thing is debatable, depending on the temperament of the situation in Anambra State.
Because the traders are protesting.
Because naturally the traders, they have one belief or so within the system that brought that thing out. If they don't have that belief in it, they won't have the courage to do that. The government too, on its own part, has a role to play in instilling a confidence in the traders that you can begin to defy non-state actors.
Just in 10
There was
seconds.
a time in Anambra State, they told us that things have calmed down, things are running well. Come out and collect your PVC. We saw what happened in some centers,
Okay.
including core members who were shot dead.
So you don't think this punitive measure has sent a
So
message?
that punitive measure will be dependent on how confident people are
All right, gentlemen.
in the street.